Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ian, and we are here to start Loki. Now, I know pretty much nothing about what the show's about. I haven't seen any of the trailers. I meant to. I haven't gotten around to it. So, yeah, I'm pretty much completely blind on going in this, which is cool. Kind of what I prefer. I would have watched probably the first trailer, but you know, whatever. Not a big deal. Means I just am more blind on this. I know this is like a different Loki. Obviously, the one that we grew to know more was killed. Very sad, and I'm kind of sad about this one just because, like, you know, we're kind of starting over with his growth. Maybe. I'm not sure what they're planning to do with this. So yeah, you know, that being said, considering there's, you know, I have no idea what this is about. It wasn't the previous episode. This is the first one. Let's just get into it. Alright, here we go.
Where's Loki? Loki?
Where's Loki?
Appears to be a standard sequence violation. Branch is growing at a stable rate and slope.
Time?
Variant identified.
I beg your pardon.
Time cups?
On behalf of the Time Variance Authority, I hereby arrest you for crimes against the sacred timeline.
Oh?
It's been a very long day, and I think I've had my fill of idiots in armored suits telling me what to do, so if you don't mind, this is actually your last chance. Now get out of my way.
Man, he is just not having it today. Oh!
You're now moving at 1/16th speed.
Reset the timeline.
What? Say what now? Come again? Well, arrested anyway, Loki. Whoa! That's a cool collar. Loki, buddy.
Absolutely not. This is fine Asgardian leather.
Uh-oh. Jeez.
Hang on just a minute.
Efficient. A cat! That's a good prison.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
What?
Ever? You can't be.
Sign this too.
Please confirm to your knowledge that you are not a fully robotic being. We're born an organic creature and do in fact possess what many cultures would call a soul.
What? To my knowledge. Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
To my knowledge. Yeah, a couple.
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
The machine would melt you from the inside out. Please move along, sir.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Long ago, there was a vast multiversal war. Countless unique timelines battled each other for supremacy, nearly resulting in the total destruction of, well, everything. But then the all-knowing timekeepers emerged, bringing peace by reorganizing the multiverse into a single timeline. Maybe you started an uprising, or were just late for work. Whatever.
What about Steve?
Stepping off your path created a Nexus event, which left unchecked could branch off into madness, leading to another multiversal war.
Oh.
Sir? What are you raising your voice with me, Buckethead?
Thanks for visiting the TVA. Don't hesitate to let
Yeah.
us know how we're doing.
Okay.
It appears that when they arrived, somebody got the jump on them.
You think?
It's him.
Yeah, stab wounds look consistent with the others.
Oh.
Tu sais qui a fait ça?
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely not. You have the wrong person.
Oh, really? And who should we have?
I suspect the Avengers. You see, I only came into possession of the Tesseract because they traveled through time. No doubt in a last-ditch effort to stave off my ascent to God King.
That's quite an accusation.
Oh, believe me, you can smell the cologne of two Tony Starks. You speak of time criminals, right, and then what do?
Dictate the proper flow of time according to their dictations. How do you plead?
Guilty. Of this.
Yeah, nothing here, brother.
He's trying to use his powers, ma'am.
Don't rush me. Damn it, why would it work?
Magic powers. They're no good in the TVA, Mr. Laufeyson. The court finds you guilty, and I sentence you to be reset. Next case, please.
Whoa, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Is it bad? What does it mean? Hey, like, you ridiculous bureaucrats will not dictate how my story ends.
It's not your story, Mr. Laufeyson. It never was.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
I think I might.
Anything goes sideways, it's on you.
Okay. I feel like I'm always looking up to you. I like it. It's appropriate.
Okay. Consultant.
And who are you?
You've been downgraded, Loki.
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way.
Mobius.
Are you taking me somewhere to kill me?
No, that's where you just were. I'm taking you someplace to talk.
Well, I don't like to talk.
But you do like to lie, which you just did. Because we both know you love to talk.
Yeah.
Talkie. I specialize in the pursuit of dangerous variants.
Like myself.
No particularly dangerous variants. You're just a little pussycat. I got a set of questions for you. You answer them honestly, and then maybe I can give you something you want. You want to be king?
I don't want to be. I was born to be.
No, but king of what exactly?
You wouldn't understand.
Try me.
Midgard.
AKA Earth. All right, now you're the king of Midgard, then what? Happily ever after?
The timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection.
Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
I am smart.
I know.
Okay. If it's all the same to you. I'll have that drink now. No. And I remember, I was there. Anything else?
It's funny, for someone born to rule, you sure do lose a lot. Might even say it's in your nature.
You know, things didn't turn out so well for the last person who said that to me.
Oh yeah, Phil Coulson.
Is he gonna show what happened to him?
Didn't the Avengers come together to literally avenge him by defeating you? Look at that smile. You are enjoying that. Did you enjoy hurting them?
I don't have to play this game. I'm a god.
Of what? Again, mischief, right?
Yeah.
I don't see anything very mischievous about this.
Ashley! Sorry.
Miss,
Yes, Mr. Cooper.
you might want to take a look at that note. I have a bomb.
I can't believe you were D.B. Cooper. Come on.
I was young and I lost a bet to Thor.
Well, what is it that you think that you're really running from?
Enough.
Back in your cage.
See, I can play the heavy keys too. I was just standing up to make a point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It won't be as meaningful now.
Okay, well, stay seated.
I'll do what I want to do.
Sure.
Loki.
Hello, Mother. Have I made it proud?
Please, don't make this worse.
What is this? This is nonsense. More tricks. It's never even happened.
Not to you. Not yet. And then the Dark Elves attack the palace, and you think you send them to Thor.
You might want to take the stairs to the left.
But instead, you send them...
I'll never tell.
Where do you have her? Where is she?
You lead them right to her. Do you enjoy hurting people?
I don't believe you.
Do you enjoy killing?
I'll kill you.
What, like you did your mother? Sorry, the time twister just loops you, not the furniture. You weren't born to be king, Loki. You were born to cause pain and suffering and death. That's how it is. That's how it was. That's how it will be. All so that others can achieve their best versions of themselves.
What are you doing?
My job. Is it yours to interrupt?
We have a situation.
Always a situation.
I think he knows you took it, Loki. Or not?
Mischievous scamp.
What's your name?
Casey.
Give me the Tesseract or I'll gut you like a fish, Casey.
What's a fish? What's a fish?
How do you not know what a fish is?
I lived my entire life behind a desk.
But what difference does it make?
I want to know exactly what I'm being threatened with before I comply.
Death, Casey. Violent, painful death.
Okay, okay, I comply.
What? Infinity Stones? How do you have these?
Oh, we actually got a lot of those. Yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights. Some of them.
Is this the greatest power in the universe?
Oh, well.
Oh, you almost hit me. That's so messed up.
For Casey.
Do not forgive you.
I love you, my sons. Remember this place. Home.
Loki, I thought the world of you. I thought we were gonna fight side by side forever.
I do it because I have to, because I've had to.
Okay, explain that to me.
Because it's part of the illusion. It's the cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear.
a desperate play for control.
TVA is formidable.
That's been my experience. Listen, I can't offer you salvation, but maybe I can offer you something better. Fugitive variant's been the Minutemen.
And you need the God of Mischief to help you stop them.
That's right.
Why me?
The variant we're hunting is you.
I beg your
I
pardon?
was about to wonder.
Set a charge.
Wait. Someone's out there.
Oh boy.
Check it out.
So you're a variant. They're strong. Wait. Is she the... It's not Tara Strong. I didn't see who she was. I'm assuming she was voicing with that little character lady that was narrating the whole purpose of the TVA. Miss Minutes? I'm assuming that's what that... Okay, yeah. I can kind of... I don't know. It sounds... I don't know. I didn't catch it that one. I still can't quite hear her there. But that's okay. This is a surprising cameo there. All right. Well... Oh, no. Another Loki variant, but I guess a much worse one for some particular reason. So he's going to be going after himself. That's... Existential crisis. Well, and he already had to deal with... Man, this... I wasn't expecting... Okay. So he kind of had, like, sort of, that growth all, come back in an instant. Almost. I mean, he didn't have the experiences and, like, what necessarily ties the other events that he saw together. But he saw, what his actions led to his mom being killed. Man, knowing that. Because I completely forgot. It's been such a long time since I've seen Thor Dark World. Dark World? Is that what it's called? Or is it... I don't remember. The second Thor movie. I know it has a dark in the name. I think it's the Dark World or Dark Elves. I know Dark Elves are in it, whatever. Point of the matter is, I do know, I remember her being killed. I remember Loki being super depressed. Like, he had an illusion of not actually being, like, he had an actual physical illusion up. And then when it went away, he was like, the room was a mess. He was a mess after finding out what had happened to their mother. I completely forgot that he had sent them towards... Well, his intention was to send them to Thor to have him killed. But it led to their mother instead. Well, I think he was there. But, again, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. Was like pretty soon. I think the last time I saw it was when it came out on DVD. I just don't remember. I think I've seen it once since then. But yeah, it's been a long time. Man, that makes it even worse. I don't even know if I realized that was the reasoning for his mother's death. Maybe I did. I just don't remember. Either way, that sucks finding that, because he didn't even... This Loki has no recollection. I mean, he hasn't experienced that yet. Hasn't happened. Wow. That's... Okay, this whole thing was a huge surprise. I, again, hadn't seen any of the trailers. I don't know if the most recent one, how much of it gave away, if it gave the whole TVA thing. I'm assuming it did, because this seems like, the main story of it. But then again, with WandaVision, they didn't... I mean, they showed that it was, like, in television format, old television format. That's one of the first things they showed. Those kind of they only show like clips of that, like not necessarily showing any of the. I don't recall exactly like anything that when they're finally outside of the TV perspective. It was all just the TV version stuff. And nobody really knew exactly what it was going to be about. Just inclinations that maybe Wong had put them in the TV world or something of the like, which she did, but they didn't know what it was going to be about. So I don't know how much I'll have to go back. I don't know if I want to, because again, don't know how much they're going to give away. I mean, they've done pretty good with keeping the main storyline of these shows anyway, kind of under wraps. So I guess maybe I'll look at it, but yeah, I had no idea that I don't know. I'm assuming this is a comic thing. I know nothing of the TVA. I feel like I know about vaguely about the timekeepers. Sorry, Jesus. I feel like I might have heard something about that. Yeah, that it's kind of funny. Kind of sucks what happened there. He was being arrested. He was about to be taken to Asgard's prison. Escapes and then gets almost immediately arrested. Anyway, but by a much more powerful enforcement. Yeah. He literally none of his magic, no magic in this area works at all. He's got nothing other than his wits, which he does have, but and he was able to kind of sort of he has some fighting skill. It's not his expertise, but he has some. And he actually wound up getting that collar on the lady and messed with her quite a bit. But yeah, he couldn't even leave. The Infinity Stones don't even work here, and it's like nothing to them. This place. Okay. And apparently what the Avengers did was supposed to happen. And I was wondering, they don't care, are there certain variants that they let go through? Because Steve is technically a variant. Well, yeah. Yeah, he's a variant. Because he went back from his time, he went to the past. And, went to Peggy, and they spent their whole lives together, which has to have changed, even in small things, which would ripple out to change other things, just because further back in time you go, the more it'll affect, and the future, the present, or whatever. So it is they didn't. Obviously, in the movie, they didn't want to completely alter, and it was different where they did time travel in the Avengers. It's you're not altering the timeline, even though old Steve shows up, which kind of threw me up. It kind of puts a slight chink in that, of it's not, you're not changing the time. You're just making a new present. But the thing with that is, again, old Steve showed up in our timeline. But then again, maybe that was more so showing. No, it would. They had to do some things to kind of put some finishing touches on or close out people's endings as satisfying enough. Weird. For the audience and people that love these characters, so they had to skew some of their own rules. But regardless, Steve is he is a variant, and I would assume that they, whether dangerous or not, they want to keep that from happening, from a possible nexus being created. It was a nexus that the thing that's bad, or is the variant himself is a I think it's the nexus. The variant creates a nexus. There's a multiverse war that, probably similar to the whole Crisis for the DC. where the multiverse was kind of destroying itself. Again, slightly different somewhat different from what the Crisis was about, but just going about it a semi-different way. I'm assuming anyway. I don't know anything about this multiverse war. And then these timekeepers showed up, made it one timeline. Well, so there's no multiverse in here, in the Marvel, at least right now. Because they straight up said there was a multiverse war, and then they made it the Sacred Timeline? Yeah, Sacred Timeline. So there's no multiverse, no alteration. So whenever things begin to alter, they take those and reset it. Essentially kill that that variant, pretty much. That time baton thing is awesome though. It has, you can hit someone and put them in their own slowed down time pocket basically, or you could eviscerate them or resetting them, but it's essentially eviscerating that version. There was a scroll there. I'm assuming they go for any amount of variants. I wasn't sure what they were. Big thing, had no idea Owen Wilson was going to be in this. I think I already stated that, but yeah, I had no idea whatsoever. Again, don't know if that was spoiled in the trailer. It's a pity if it was. Was that stated? I feel like that might have been news that I heard, that Owen Wilson was going to be in the show, and maybe I might have forgotten. And if that's the case, glad I did, because that was cool to find out. I'm just like, wait a second, hold up, that's nuh-uh. That was so weird. But it was cool seeing him in this, and at least from the things I've seen him in, very different role than what I'm used to seeing him in. But he does a great job in this. Good lord. I really like that they were basically kind of he was analyzing Loki and kind of sort of being a therapist in a way, psychoanalyzing him, why he does what he does, how he enjoys hurting people, asking if he does, and getting to kind of the core of why he does what he does and what his goals are and why are they his goals, and what's his plan after this, what's his overall reaching ending goal. And by the end, Loki, he admits that it's essentially a facade, that he does it to instill fear because to his own perspective is weak. And that's his defense, is to instill fear. It still doesn't make up for what he's done. He straight up killed Phil Coulson. Granted, he came back, which I was really hoping that they were going to show that. I was like, yeah, you killed him, but what if we said you didn't? But I think it was kind of stated that that's not really, that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't included within the timeline, within the Marvel Universe, MCU, the MCU. I think that was kind of, because I think they took it off of Disney Plus, or they took it off of the Marvel branch of Disney Plus. I guess they're not including it in there, so I think that was kind of them insinuating that, maybe not. I know that was something that was kind of blown up about, but it was showing that to him was more so showing, this led to you losing though. It riled everybody up to band together and take you down. He did a lot of things for that persona, man. Did a lot. But he definitely he seemed squeamish. It was definitely it was very evident that it was affecting him. I don't like seeing this. I did it, but after doing that, that's kind of in the past. I'm not looking back at that. I'm done with it. That I had done that for that moment. and now people won't ever think to, bark back. And I won't have to do that again until he has to do the next thing and the next thing. And he kind of has a altruistic sort of intent behind wanting to rule, to kind of make it easier for people and to take the regret of making decisions, wrong decisions, guilt made by those decisions. But, it's not the way to go about things. People, if they don't make these mistakes, then people aren't going to grow. There are people that may not grow from it, that they'll dwell on it, and it could spiral them downward. But sometimes people that, even if they do spiral downward, they end up picking themselves up and become stronger for that. People learn from mistakes. So, Loki, he has good intentions. It's just it is a bit conceited and a bit of a conceited in certain aspects, because again, physically he feels he's weak. Whether he's stronger than those on Earth or not, it's still just in terms of those that are his that are also Asgard, at least, are stronger than him, and the Hulk, which he is scared of. So that was kind of funny. He didn't want whenever he had to be when they were not letting him get on the elevator, he was just kind of waving at him, being a kind of a jerk about it. I like Loki. I do. Not when he's terrible, killing jerkwad. But seeing his development throughout the movies, I really like his character. I liked his personality. He was very charismatic. And then when he was kind of showing more signs of being an actual good person, you know what I mean. Showing some character growth in some elements. He was just enjoyable to watch. Tom Hiddleston's great. Tom Hiddleston himself is just a very charismatic person, so he doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't really have to do too much to kind of give off the Loki aura in a way. At least the charismatic aspect of him. Being the, sadistic killer part, yeah, that part you have to portray. But the kind of that essence of him that pulls you in is just kind of Tom Hiddleston. I feel he's just a charming son of a gun. So these people, the TVA isn't just the task force, I guess, or whatever. They always have different branches, and I guess it's just where this is like a pocket thing, kind of like a vanishing point kind of a thing. This is where they all live, apparently. I was wondering if this was just a place they go to, for work, but I wasn't sure. I had no idea what the whole structure of that would be. Then we saw their whole, I don't know if it was just a city. How big is it? How vast is it? We saw just from what we saw, it seemed massive. But I don't know how far how wide it spreads. And children, do children live? Do they grow up here? What's the lifestyle here if you're not just working, or are you just, because they said the timekeepers created this? Did they just create them specific, create them, or was it meant created the job of the TVA? And it'd be do they just create them as adults already, or if that's the case of the timekeepers creating their beings for this job, does he just create them as adults? I don't know. This is very interesting. Again, had no idea that this was going to be a thing. I wasn't sure what the show was going to be about per se. Yeah, no, actually at all. I had no idea he was gonna be out. Just that Loki was gonna. I thought he was gonna be free for a bit longer than that. But that was not anywhere near the case. There's a nightmare department. Do they? Okay, so what do they? What does that mean? Do they control the dreams of people? Now that's interesting. Like they're like the way they said that when Loki said it was his own decisions or he has his own destiny, and they're kind of like not necessarily. We actually you're doing what you're supposed to do. We know what's going on, or we plan this or whatever. I don't know exactly how it's worded. Basically, it's almost like another argument. This argument comes into a lot of situations like these, like is free will kind of like an illusion or whatever in these vast stories or whatever. It's not really free will. It's more so like programmed free will, I guess. I don't know. And whenever that is strayed, we get rid of that. Whenever something strays from that designated path, we delete it. So I don't know how I feel about that one. That's always a kind of odd and complicated issue. But I do like Agent Mobius. He seems pretty cool. Owen Wilson's also kind of just a charismatic person. These two bouncing off each other, I really enjoyed that. Like their interactions together, even like when he was delving into his mind and essentially, or his ambitions and kind of tearing them apart, sort of like dissecting them and putting them in front of Loki himself. Like, what's this actually about? Like, what is the grand scale of this, or do you have any other further plans, kind of a thing, or is this just it? Do you have any actual end game for this? All that, and the banter was great too. Owen Wilson's just a funny guy. So, Owen Wilson. Sorry, I tend to speak really fast when I get excited. So, apologies for those new. Those that aren't new probably already know that. What I thought was great was that whole thing with him faking having a bomb. He might have actually had one, I don't know. But taking money on the plane, jumping off, and Heimdall, and then just kind of grabbing him in the Bifrost and bringing him back was because he lost a bet. Like, that means Heimdall was in on that. He was like Thor and Heimdall. I don't know if Heimdall was in on it, but he at least allowed it. Like, that's hilarious to even think about it. Like, well, like, man, that's I can't believe they used the Bifrost for that. I don't know, and I don't know. It's also funny. It's so strange that Odin would he probably didn't necessarily allow it, but he probably reprimanded them afterwards. Yeah, I don't know. That was just so funny. Let's see. What I think is funny. Whenever Mobius was talking to Loki and he was talking about his job is basically going after dangerous variants, and Loki's like, oh, like me. Like, oh no, you're a pussycat. Like especially dangerous. Funnily, it's a funny statement considering that he's actually going after Loki. But I think that was obviously just kind of like to, sort of banter and to make him miss a step, make Loki well, excuse me, and kind of sort of not open up, but make it easier for him to make certain jabs, I guess, and to kind of prod at certain things that he was trying to prod at. Because, the angrier he gets, the kind of more he slips up. A lot of times. Happens for a lot of people. But yeah, kind of made that remark of saying, we're going, it's actually you that we're going after. It was kind of one more, like, wow, what? Excuse me? Even Loki's like, fun. And I, like a few moments before he said it, I was like, wait, is it him? That doesn't, what? And then I was thinking like devil, oh, the horns, oh god, it's Loki. But I couldn't get it out for some reason. Not that big a deal. I just thought it just kind of like I didn't even suspect it to be Loki until like just before Owen's character said it, before Mobius he brought it up. What kind of seems, what I was a little worried about was, first off, when he was, I kind of liked and also was a bit sad seeing him go through those moments that he is going to have with his mother, with Thor, with his father, with Odin, and it kind of hitting him and having him sort of, well, it's weird, sort of appreciate them, and then seeing the bit with Thanos. What was that? With Thanos, I was worried that might kind of like veer him off of the growing path that he was kind of going on. I think it did. It was more everything. Most just kind of made him kind of think, wow, I am inevitably just going to meet my end at the hand of this guy. I have no purpose. I have like when he was like, and I just saw the title of the episode, "Glorious Purpose." Like, what a glorious purpose I have! Like, it's just to meet my end here. And to at the end of it, I kind of basically did nothing. So that kind of was rough to see yourself die. That's got to be such an odd and just unsettling feeling. But what I thought was interesting, they might not have meant it like this, but whenever, when Loki was telling Thanos, you'll never be a god, when Loki was watching that, it was just showing Loki, it wasn't showing the screen, and that line was stated. It almost felt like Loki was telling himself that you'll never be a god. And I could be just talking out my butt on this. They might not have meant it like that at all, but it just kind of felt like that. And if that being the case or not, I thought that was just kind of cool and interesting how they did that. How they at least shot that, and what kind of impact it has to be, if not for Loki himself, but possibly maybe just for Loki himself, like him kind of seeing the kind of like the imposter he feels like he is, like how some people have imposter syndrome, kind of somewhat like that, but not, because like he doesn't necessarily have imposter syndrome. He builds himself up to be this figure, but like kind of that line almost kind of jabbing and breaking through that persona and having him realize, or at least admit outwardly, that it was all persona, all a facade. Again, not sure if that was what that was meant for, but I just really liked how it appeared to me. Or it seemed to me, sort of. What I kind of like is that this kind of almost seems like a Lucifer thing, in a way. Very different. He's not, they're not trying to solve not trying to solve individual crimes. It's one particular criminal that's committing multiple crimes, and that's having a very ravenous effect on, I don't know if that's the right word, on the timeline. Could possibly lead to, vast devastation. And he keeps killing off their units. So, but yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode, guys. Wow, this was a great start. I feel like I had, again, no idea what I was going into starting this episode, but man, I'm really excited to continue this series. But yeah, if you want to see more, stick around next week. Subscribe. If you want, you can go to Patreon, check out all of our early access stuff there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.